Back here with episode 5 with two of my favorite people in this community,
Woo.
Jenny Lynn and Riah in the Sky. How are you two doing today?
We are so good.
Doing great.
It's good to hear. It's good to hear. So, what are you guys most grateful for?
You first.
Okay.
You prepared.
I was asked this question, like, I don't know, like a month ago. And I'm most grateful for the trees, the sky, the sun, nature, and just being able to find respite in it.
That answer was really good. I should have done this beforehand. Family and therapy, done. Like, fuck childhood trauma. Those are my wins. Family and therapy.
All right.
Breaking generational trauma in cycles daily.
Boom.
Mic drop.
Some real shit. Feel it's not talked about enough, breaking all those traumas and going to therapy, especially as poets.
Hell yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
It's $100 a meeting. Like, how do we afford this shit as poets? That's where I'm at. We're doing it. Yeah.
I do the group therapy of, like, we all hang out and we do it that way. We do it that way.
Yeah.
Tequila.
That sounds very trauma bondy. I like it. That's where I started. Yep. Yeah. That's how I found poetry.
Speaking of poetry, how do you guys define poetry?
Poetry is not a passion or a skill. No, that's the beginning of a poem. That is not my poem. I think poetry is the action of the art of life, and you can write it into existence, or you could be it. It could be performance art, but it's operating life in some form of cadence to your own. Like, that's unique to yourself. And that's weird and philosophical, but it just makes sense to me.
There's a quote I found months ago from the poet Gwendolyn Brooks. Exhaust the little moment, for soon it will die, and be it gas or gold, it will not come again in this identical disguise. And I feel like poetry is capturing the moment, whether it's a moment in your life, a moment how you feel. Yeah.
Look at you. Damn it. I'm going to study next time.
So, what made you guys start wanting to write poetry?
Couldn't afford therapy. Dead ass. I started sharing my journal entries at open mic, which was really uncomfortable for certain people that were also attending the open mic. My partner mainly. Dead ass. Like, on some, oh my god, XYZ feelings. And that's how I got into it, is literally sharing journal entries for some form of communal visibility. And then there was, back in the day, sake bombs and other things at our venue that occurred. And so it was
yeah, that could.
There was levels to this shit then. They were like, oh, me too. It was then, so yeah.
Yeah, no, when I get that cup of wine on the mic, who knows what I'm going to read? And I feel like it starts that way a lot. Like, my friend Cho, our friend Diana, like, sometimes she's like, this is more like a journal entry, but
Here we go.
it's always great.
Yeah, every time.
For me, I first fell in love with writing poetry when I was like 11 years old in the 6th grade, like learning about it in school. And I don't think I had ever written about like my life personally before that. And I just fell in love with expressing myself. And so I was really into writing for like a couple of years, and then I didn't write for a very, very long time into my adulthood. And then I needed to express, so I picked it up again. And now I'm here.
Nice. I think you guys make very good points, because I think that's how everyone else starts writing. It's just journal entries, you're just getting your thoughts and feelings out, and then, which many people say is poetry in its own right, but when it comes to coming out and reading at the open mic, it's a completely different feeling, because it's like taking off the masks that you wear and just letting people see you for who you really are.
Yeah, it requires a certain level of vulnerability and uncomfortability. that can really scale your personal growth and shit. So that's why I'm like, I liked it. It helped me, you know, in my real life.
Oh, yeah. Like, I tell people all the time, even my friends who aren't writers, I'm like, just write it. And especially when it's like, yeah, if you think your friends are tired of hearing about the same stuff over and over again, but you still need to get it out, just write it. I promise. Write it like it's a text to the person that you can't press send.
Aggressively activate your note section in your phone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, use it as a tool.
So how would you, do you guys use themes or topics for your poems at all, or is it just, you know, you just write whatever comes out?
Anthony Xavier Jackson has been posting like these daily prompts that have been, I haven't been commenting on, and I like lurk on his posts recently because I've been not necessarily less than inspired, but not focused on writing. Typically, I write through trauma, personal experience, BS that's happening in the inner circle of our community, getting through misogyny, male bullshit. It's a lot of heavy male topics in my work. But Anthony Xavier Jackson of recently has been posting these daily like affirmation check-ins. What are you grateful for? If you flew somewhere, what would this be? And it's really been like, oh, I may actually open my note and take this like internally. I don't know. And so shout out to him. That is all. Like that's, I would not be thinking about writing as of currently besides like business technical manuals and grants and other things if he wasn't like planting those seeds on my Facebook feed.
He actually just dropped in the chat right now saying hi, y'all. So Anthony Xavier Jackson
Oh,
is in the
woo!
chat.
Shout out. That's so cool.
Cho is in the chat as well.
Hey, of
Hey,
of course she is.
Support.
I use my friends for poetry inspiration constantly. I write about my family a lot. You and I have a show coming up, Estrellas y Sueños, where we really mind our family childhood trauma for that one. They're gonna love it when they hear it. Well, I hope anyways.
That's fun.
So, family, nature, I find nature to be really inspiring. And then my friends. Yeah, like a lot of the times, like I'll hang out with my friends and I will write about it, and I'll write about those conversations. I'll write about like what they're going through, what I'm going through, like what we told each other. And like the only love poems I'm writing right now are the ones about my friends.
Oh, that's so sweet. I like that. Yeah. Me too. No, I answered. I'm good.
Yeah, you answered.
No, I'm
Just
like,
taking all that in.
that's
I
like
was-
you're doing a good job.
I was really trying to cut out on the amount of ums I used.
You're
Right?
killing it, nailing it.
Thanks.
0 ums.
Do I get an A+ in podcasting?
Plus,
Thanks.
plus.
So, would you say poetry does you express yourself differently than other forms of art?
For me, yes. Like I started out doing graffiti, like period.
Oh, shit.
Like I see your walls in here, bro, and I want to fuck them up. Like this is naked. Like he knows, the alien guy knows there needs to be something here. So back in the day, if you remember, like Luna's Cafe used to have graffiti in the bathrooms.
Oh, yeah.
There used to be like the chick with the septum piercing drawn on the bathroom door. That was me. That was me. And it used to be the barista that worked there. Like I just got up. Like it was a whole vibe. And I wasn't good with front facing visibility as an artist. That's not part of it as a graph head chick. You lurk in the background.
Yeah.
Later, I went on to do like interior design work and set design, production of actual poetry shows that were on cable television, not public access. And that was my gateway into poetry.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
That's pretty
And
cool.
it was like all these queer poets from the Bay Area, like shout out Lucky Seven Kelly, for like being like, yeah, you can do this. You can share words. I like this. This is, for you. So it was just a journey getting there. That's for me. I don't know.
What was the question again?
I don't fucking know. I know I didn't answer it. So just say what you want.
I'm like, I don't know. I was on a journey with you, and I was like, I don't remember what the question
like,
was.
Stop the train. Stop the train.
So the question was, does poetry allow you to express yourself in different mediums of art, like painting or acting or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think it's even just among writing, it's so unique because you have like journal writing and then you have like creative writing and like nonfiction and things like that. And there's not a lot where I feel like you really write personally, rather than like a personal essay or a journal entry. And then you have memoirs, but that's a whole other thing. So I really feel like poetry is where it bridges all of that. It all comes together, like the creative and the personal. And there's a reason everyone comes out to share. There's a reason we're drawn to it. And I think like also I know like a lot of the times we're like, oh, I'm in a writing slump, go do another piece of art. And then you do that and it inspires you, where I'm just like, go live your life and it'll inspire you.
Yeah, and go check out Anthony Xavier Jackson's like Facebook feed if you need something to write about. He's like posting every day for us. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? There's no slump necessary.
Go follow him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's GTFO right there, Anthony Xavier Jackson. Love the man.
Bum, 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 bum. You weren't ready.
I was so when you guys sit down to write, do you have like a process that helps you get into like the state of mind of writing?
No, I do not sit down and write. Like, writing the show, we kind of had to sit down and write. But other than that, I don't. It'll suddenly be like 11 p.m. and I'm like, this is the time I'm going to write. Or sometimes now when I'm in the middle of hanging out with my friends, I'll like pull out my notes app. You know, like when I'll just like pull out my notes app. Or like I stumble home at 1 a.m. And that's when I'm writing. Like, I don't really have a process, I guess. It's just whenever you're inspired.
I'm drawn to metaphorical experiences and like to talk shit through them. And in sections, like you hit people with the uncomfortable situation first, then you really explain like the middle body of the poem, and then you put a little bow at the end, and sometimes people cry. I used to
Love
do
when
slam.
people cry.
Well, when I did slam, like tears were 10 points, and so I killed everybody in poems for like 4 years. Everybody fucking died. Like if I had somebody die, I watched First 48, someone died. Let me write about this. Poor them. It was really like very intentional and dark. And then I went through the phase of like, let's try and be a little more satirical and poke some fun, but still be dark. And that's where like the crazy poem and other stuff come from, because I'm just like, nah, fuck you. This should be kind of fun, but like make you think, because men get away with this shit all the time. So yeah, that's my writing process.
Nice. So when you first write those poems, do you guys go back and edit them at all, or?
Always, every time. I almost never love a first draft. Almost never. I'm always, a lot of the times I'll be like, this is okay, and then I'll write another one, and then I'm like, okay, let's combine the two. Constant editing.
I'll have a few versions of it depending on the audience, so it's like very intentional. Cool. If I'm going to just share this at open mic, is this a mixed open mic, diversity-wise? Is this a male heavily dominant open mic? There may be 4-letter words added for impact and other things. Or is this meant for a youth audience that should be informed on like feminist topics and make it a little more friendly for, say, 12 and up? Like if I can't read it to my kid, it's like safely, or one of her friends, I'm like, and her tell me what you think this means, maybe it's not gonna hit all audiences. But I do like a first draft. I will fuck a first draft up. Like, here you go.
I love when the first draft is you just get it all out and you're like, I hate this. And then you come back like an hour later or like a few days later, a week later, and you're like, I was actually kind of doing something here.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually made a point.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, those are my favorite ones.
Oftentimes, my conclusion in my first draft will be the beginning later on. And just the structure of the poem for impact, right? Like, the saddest thing happens in the beginning because I don't need to make you cry anymore. I'm all grown up. Cheers. So, yeah.
So, I know you come out to CSSB a lot, Riah, and you're hosting Luna forever. But is there any, in all those years or even now, any mics you guys frequented or really liked?
Go for it. You
Okay.
start.
All right. I'd say the one I come to the most and regularly is CSSB. I think the one I love the most that happens monthly or every other month is Tea and Poetry. Yeah. Shanela puts on a hell of an event every time. And there's other open mics that happen weekly that I don't go out to as much because...
Why? Oh, that was so shady of me, huh? My bad. Sorry. My bad.
I'll answer.
I smoked first.
This is why I didn't join you.
Why? Say more.
I think there's a really great Thursday night open mic that I think could benefit from a different host.
Oh.
And that's what I'm gonna say about that. Jenny, why don't you answer the question now?
I got this. Yeah. I hosted Luna's for over 15 years, consistently. First Thursday of the month, and then first last Thursday of the month, and then we took over for first Thursdays after Mario Ellis Hill had gone to Hawaii, and he's back now, which is so great. I love having our mentors back. So that's great. But we came from a venue. It was Butch and Nellie's, and that's not here anymore. It was like, lesbian-owned queer coffee shop in the mid. It was a whole vibe. It's the Mill now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, by Ace Hardware.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, the lesbian coffee shop was right next to the hardware store.
Yep.
Wow, they planned that. There's
It was tool-rific. And so it was a different energy when we first started, like I said, really being rooted in the queer community. And that was the start. So coming to Luna's, it was finding ourselves in this Chicano community really that was started like forming there because the Royal Chicano Air Force and their art, murals and things like that. If you recognize going into Old Sacramento, those murals and whatnot, that was them. And it was like their clubhouse at Luna's for decades. So much respect to, those professors that have passed on and stuff. So it was an integrated space. We found ourselves, in that space. But we also started frequenting Shine before it was under this new pandemic ownership. I don't fuck with them now. It's weird.
Oh, yeah.
Straight up.
we had a
we
weird time there, like a month back.
So,
It
like,
was a weird time.
I don't know.
We were just trying to write.
It's in my neighborhood, right? Like, this should be my coffee shop. So prior, it was like 170 folks that were like queer supporting out for open mic. I didn't like the way they ran the open mic, drawing names from people. You could be there all fucking night. Like, it was kind of a dumpster fire, but of love and joy, and like people participated regardless. So I used to frequent Shine when Mahogany was going at Wednesday night, right on Broadway. That was the spot back in the day.
We gotta make it out to Mahogany. We haven't
You
been
know what
out
I'm saying?
yet.
Like, so as for like those veteran like places that I came up in, there's that and the Poetry Center, right? So support Mahogany, Poetry Center, people are kind of like iffy about sometimes, but that's what it's like working with organizations, right? If you want to work with an organization and you're a poet, they may be a great fiscal sponsor or a nonprofit umbrella for you, and you be able to work with that organization differently than being just a poet that pops up on them regularly. Run workshops out of their space, like change the culture of what's happening there. So it's kind of a different environment. It's very academic, but I give them their credit for sustaining and maintaining through like decades. Currently, I'm not out and participating. I'm writing a poem a day on the low. Gonna drop a book in the future. Woo. We've been here for poetry to support Diana's night. You know what I mean? As a female host, also navigating this community, wanting to show up for other women. That's really, like, if a woman calls me to do some shit, that's where I'm at. Sorry, Al. Like, you,
no
like
worries.
you're dope
No
and I'm
offense.
here, but like, it's her. Like, I'm here for her. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. You know what I mean? Like, it was so good having snacks with you. Yes, I'll participate. Right.
Speak Out SAC has a really great open mic. That one like pops up every few months. That was the first open mic I ever went to, and it definitely influenced me.
That's cool.
And I know it was also like Cho's first open mic too.
Mm-hmm.
Another great poet. She was on episode 1.
Yep.
Yeah. One day I'm gonna host here. One day they'll draw my name out of the hat, and then you got to come out for me.
Hit me. Like,
Hell
I'll show
yeah.
up. That's the
Hell
deal.
yeah.
Like, get me the weird text. Shit is happening in my community. Boys are being weird. Show up, sis, and I will be right there in the front
I
row,
can
just
handle
like
them.
last time. You
I
know
can
what I'm
handle
saying?
them poetry boys.
I can too. Like, that's kind of the problem. That's yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
Pretty much, but I feel like these last 3 months are like, it's either be a man and grow some balls or do something, or just be a little bitch. So
Yeah, men have been a little mitchy lately, and I just on that, men in the poetry community, if you're listening, if you're running into femme poets in poetry spaces, they're probably there to do poetry, not you. And so maybe like if you have alternative agendas, or you would like to lure places to sus bars or other places, hang out, help them with their work. Maybe you should communicate you're also trying to help them out of their pants before you lure them to those environments. PSA over. Yeah, TED Talk done.
I hope that warning doesn't fall on deaf ears.
Just saying, like, yeah, that was one of my main reasons of not continuing with the Silver Lining, because it was poetry that was happening in a drinking environment, and I don't think that encourages safe spaces.
no.
You know what I mean?
Silver Linings is still growing, but yeah, even those first 4 days, like a lot of people drinking and just wouldn't give the poets the respect they needed and just shutting up, and it's a whole different vibe now than what Luna's was, what even it was in at the beginning of the year, and just,
Yeah. But it's hard to tell someone in their own space, you know, where they're going to do something in an open bar that they're not doing the right thing too. So it's a, you know, it's a fine line to respect the business owners and the audience. And so I think business owners have a real due diligence with the community, working together, creating standards of practice, codes of ethics, expectations, and what they see having in their space for artists, especially like people of color and women types.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why everyone's kind of fallen in love with CSB and the Tuesday nights, because it just started this year. It's the 34th week this week or next week coming up, and CSB is always catered to every kind of artist, every color, every gender, and they're kind of getting into like setting the expectations, and they're really trying to build something great here.
Yeah, that's super awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never went to Luna's, so
It's okay.
I don't,
It's okay.
so I wouldn't know about that. But I do feel like it was divine timing that when I came out into the poetry scene, CSSB had only been going for like a few weeks, maybe a month at most at that point.
Right.
And I feel really lucky to have found this place and to have found like a home here. This is I think more people need to come out and see it and be part of it, because I think we're building a really special community here.
I think it's awesome. I don't want to see you outgrow the space. But I know the night I was here, it was fucking packed.
Yeah.
It
was
you never
I'm
know.
not mad.
You never know. Their lease is up in 3 years. You never know
No,
what's going
but
to
like
happen after that.
on a scaling for the future, do you know what I'm saying? One thing we did in the past when we outgrew our space is we just rolled a monitor out in the patio. I know you have one of those out here.
Yeah.
With the camera directly in, and then, you know what I mean, you expand your audience by like 20 people. You're welcome.
I like you're telling it to Al. Al doesn't run the open mic. He doesn't.
Tell the people you are here. Like,
I'm sure Josh and them will see this.
You know what I mean?
We got Grody here helping us
You know,
out.
like it's you have technical equipment on site and cables.
I don't know. I mean, I know you're going to start your West Sac open mic one day.
Oh,
So, you know.
hopefully.
You know.
There used to be a really cool West Sac open mic back in the day at this Broderick restaurant that we would slide into once in a while.
Broderick is...
Yeah, so I don't know. Anyways, they may want you back. You know what I mean?
I know they're doing an open mic there now with Solidarity Music. I think is running it. It looks pretty cool. I need to go check it out.
They're good folks.
Yeah. So this might be a good time if you guys are ready to read a poem.
Sure. Want to hear my phone?
You want to go first?
Do you want to go first?
I'm only going to spit whatever's memorized in my head, and I'm going to stop whenever.
All right. I'll go first then.
Cool.
This poem, this is one of my poems for my friends. It's about sisterhood, and it's called Curses. I was given curses, she proclaims, things I'm fearful to repeat. To speak it gives it power, and I cannot bear this burden. Expectations of grandeur, I cast them off. Let me retreat and gauze my wounds. I didn't sign my bones to fight these battles. Yet I cannot stand by and watch them prowl, turn my sisters into prey. Batons passed, torches lit, they announced her birth to all. A new generation to light the way, to cast upon the skulkers in the shadows. Why must I be the sun to rise above? All I wanted was to carve myself a home, find belonging in new spaces. My words were meant to be for me, and now they are a weapon. Yet I cannot stand by and watch them prowl, turn my sisters into prey. You never asked to fight, I say, but you've always marched to every battle. Your curses are your blessings. We are the dawn of a new day, and I am here to help you shine. My bones will fight for yours. We will not stand by and watch them prowl, turn our sisters into prey. All the good things.
Just do it? That's okay. Crazy. Crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy. Crazy for feeling so blue. Let's play a game of catfish. 'Cause I'm gonna stalk me some you. Why front like you don't notice this attention? Now I gotta pose a false impression. I have daddy issues. This is not depression. Crazy for trying and faking my crying. It's nice to find out where you're going to. Makes it easier to watch you. Who you see, what you say, the swag and your sway. Seeing you on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, well, it makes my whole day. Damn, I wish I could check out your Vine. I watch you, boo. Look out your window. You can see me too. Crazy. Right where I want him. See, he thinks I'm vulnerable with a dash of desperate, and that just makes me want to fuck with him more. It's sad he thinks we dance. All the while I bind him with my interweb. He's the perfect opportunity. Says he likes me more than a rebound. I interpret that as you don't think I'm a measure up. As you attempt to respect me, you steady offend me. Worry, why would I let myself worry? 'Cause I don't care if you're not ready. I love you, Mr. Right Now. See, he's cooked and can't figure out how. Facebook's as complicated, but if you ask me, we are in a full court fucking relationship now. Start calling you pet name against your will. Stop calling it that. You know you like a little struggle cuddle. Crazy for thinking my love could hold you? Shh. I'm thirsty for attention. Kleptomatic. I'm going to capitalize on your intellectual property. I'm going to steal your heart. Sick and tired of waiting for forever, I have loved you unconditionally since that very first date. And I do not mean to scare you, but our love story, it's going to be a thriller. When the cops catch on, they'll call me the ex-girlfriend killer. Crazy. Dare you to say we're over. Drop bombs in your breakup box when I roll through because I can do bad all on my own. The turn down is so real. Now I got to torture you. Key your car, stalk you from afar, accidentally be at every fucking open mic you are. Al. Crazy. Until I find someone to replace us, we ain't through. And there's not a restraining order in the world that can keep me from you. And I'm really sorry that tape turned your wrist black and blue, but I fucking warned you. Nighty-night. Sweet dreams, unwilling lover. Body at rest, never to uncover. Crazy for killing my only. I told you I killed everybody. Just at the end. I killed them. That's the poem. Yep. The original, he died. Not just tied you up, not just, I killed him.
That was like Kill Bill by SZA on fucking steroids. That was like getting the background story.
Yeah. So like that whole poem though, the cops came to our open mic, 2 open mics in a row, to see the homie poet that I will not list, that you know who you are. I'm talking to you. And like he ghosted his girlfriend, right? And so the chick just kept fucking like sending the cops to find him at the open mic. You know he's gonna be there at Thursday night. Absolutely fucking not, bro. Check in with a motherfucker. You let someone know if you're like gonna like. She's not even an artist. Move around. Like tell her you're done. It's unfathomable that this was happening. I'm putting puns in here for the sake of that poet, just so you know. But yeah, she just
Secret
kept
message.
Yeah, seeing she went crazy, right? She showed up. Like, he went missing for a while. All of these odd fucking things happened to dude all because he ghosted her. And you do this stuff in the artist community with women. Mm-mm-mm.
Imagine wanting a man that much.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Seriously. Like, nope. Anyways, that's also a part of the joke. Anyways. I'm going to send this to him. Anyways. It's made my day.
You'll get another view watch.
Yeah, no, 100. It's going to hit repeat. Yeah, it's fine.
I think I've heard you read that poem so many times, and I fall in love with it every time.
Thank you. It's like my favorite post killing people. I don't kill people anymore in the poem. I just, I tie them up.
And the same thing to you, right? I think that's the 3rd or 4th time now, and it gets better each time.
It was the 2nd time.
Does
Calm
it?
down.
It felt like the 3rd.
No.
No?
The first time you heard it wasn't even the revised version, because I go back and I edit my stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, killing it.
Thank you. That was great. You were singing, I was like, oh shit.
I'm going to participate today. I went to karaoke this week. What? No, like, I've never sang karaoke in my life, ever. I just go. I lurk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
that
sing
sounds
karaoke?
like
Yeah.
No, did that-
shots.
No, yes, I sing karaoke, and it's only gotten worse since I started performing, because now I go up there and I'm like kicking, and me and Diana did Woman by Kesha a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
invite
that
you
was-
out to Pine Cove soon. I will say that we saw.
No, that's where we went to Pine Cove. Yeah.
We literally did karaoke with Dr.
No one show
Flo.
up there.
Dr. Flo, for mayor, you see the signs everywhere, was there with her chief of staff and like all of her staff to celebrate their birthday. And like stayed and did karaoke. Carrie Underwood's, dug the keys inside. Like, I have a video of her, like, acting out the baseball movements. It's like, I'm not going to post it. She's like, I'm in a public place. I was like, all right, sis, let's go. Like, I'm going to let people know you were out with your staff, and I think that's dope.
Yeah.
You may have not had my vote. I don't know if I was ready, but you're out with your staff, and you didn't just, like, pop in, drop, and leave, and That's nice. So,
That's really cool.
shout out to Dr. Flo, too. You're doing a good job. Yep. Karaoke.
So, what role do you think Sacramento poetry plays in Sacramento?
I'll go first because I feel like Jenny has a better answer for this.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
A much bigger one than I ever thought. My God, it feels like I've walked into an underground city I had no idea was there. And we're not just poets. We're not just poets. We are movers and doers. And poetry, it's like we all come together just to do it. And you know, there are some people that like mostly just come to read their stuff, like they don't really care, but the majority of people, like, they're invested, they want to be friends, like they love your poetry and they get inspired by it, and we're creating like friendships, and it feels like we're like a new generation of poets coming up, that we're not just streamers, we're doers.
Ooh. I echo you, like 100%. I think the community is in a renaissance right now because certain poetry houses have shifted and changed, and new are in like 30 plus weeks and doing that actual like work. One of the hardest things for poets is to just show up and be consistent. So like that action, it's going to reverberate, and baby poets are all growing up now. It's so nice just to like be less of a participant and more an observer, and not have to be, you know,
Batons passed,
yeah,
torches lit.
like, can I just like watch the torch be lit, and like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna come in and slide sometimes, but y'all have this. It's beautiful.
Okay, I have a question for Jenny, because
Okay.
I asked you this, you didn't have an answer. When does a baby poet stop being a baby poet? As a baby poet, I'd like an answer.
Okay. A baby poet stops being a baby poet when they start taking their shit seriously, not like a hobby.
Boom. Got it.
Okay? Like, are you being compensated for your work? Are you assessing a value to your time? No one should go anywhere for under $50 an hour. I think that's fucking bullshit. Like, if you show up and bust your poetry somewhere at like some organization's event and they can't give you a stipend for $50 for your time and your gas to get there, kiss my fucking ass. Exposure points don't make you a professional. But if someone tells you you're doing it for exposure, be like, no, sir, my clothes are on and I have OnlyFans for that. I have space for exposure in 2024. Because you could just read your words and not even show your toes there, right? And get 25 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
So just owning your own shit makes you not a baby poet. And I clarified this with someone else the other night, and I'm like, you can call yourself a baby poet all you want, but if you're doing like the research, the due diligence, you're making efforts towards impacting the community, you're clearly a community member, and you're not an intern anymore. Like, work through that shit. Like, add value.
No, because I had jokingly asked Al, and I was like, okay, so after the show's done, our show premieres next weekend.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
It premieres next week, and I was like, so after the show, am I no longer a baby poet? Have I graduated? And he was like, I don't know. He was like, I don't know what makes you stop being a baby poet. And I was like, Jenny will have an answer.
Yeah, no, like, are you marketing this shit? You're not a baby poet. Like, if efforts, if they, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is, what are we doing towards being professional? Like, one of the main things I saw myself doing is being like a liaison for baby poets to become professional poets. It was an honor teaching Brandon Leak how to tour and then watching him win America's Got Talent and go to Iceland and Greenland and tour like the world. And he gives me credit, and I'm like, boy, stop. That's fucking weird. But congratulations, right? Like, on some, if you take in the information, you treat it like a job, you're clearly a professional doing it. And then if you set a precedence to bring in money, you know you can get sponsorship for podcast kids. I've done it. Don't do this shit for free. Sell it. pick sponsors that like support your mission, your cause, that align with your directives. Not Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? That's not it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, why wouldn't the Poetry Center sponsor you?
I can think of a few reasons.
Ayo.
No, maybe, right?
Yeah.
But maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's in their mission to be more inclusive in community projects. They've sponsored me doing workshops in the past for community, other things. So looking at those other organizations, if you're providing something or you're going to put a logo on a screen somewhere for 10 seconds, what is that value to you as poets to grow and put other people on, right?
Yeah.
We had to sell my art and pimp my own art out to pay poets for the entire last year of Shit at Luna's because I did not believe in poets showing up and not getting paid. That's weird. If I'm going to say you're the feature, you should be compensated like a feature. Mm-hmm. Here's $50 for fucking 10 minutes of your time. Have a nice day. Get paid. You elevate other people's experience by adding entertainment value. You require them to critically think about themselves and who they are. Like, there's messaging that happens that add value to the events that we're performing at. Get paid.
Yep.
TED Talk over.
All right.
You're a professional. You see all these mics? You're a professional.
Absolutely. You're a professional.
You're a professional. No, he became professional the second he walked in after and like bust his poem like without the paper. I was like, oh, Al. What's happening? Like there was this major growth moment for you where you were probably inspired by the people in the community and thought, my words could be a little bit more impactful if I tried it in this way. You probably got a really big response from it that validated the effort of memorizing and making those efforts. Mm-hmm. Work. It was work. You're a professional.
Yeah. That wasn't my first time ever like memorizing poems because when I started in 2016, I would always read on the phone, and I can't remember who it was. Such a long time ago, he told me you should go take acting classes and do some theater plays and get the projection thing down, and then that kind of helped me with the memorizing. But after COVID, I guess it's like I don't got time for that.
I feel it.
Yeah.
The easiest things we did to memorize our poems to tell the slam team is memorize poems that are under 3 minutes long. You're going to lose the audience attention over that, to be honest. Like,
no,
it's been tested. And then we would record it on our phone. We would put the recording in our ear in headphones. We would listen to ourselves bust this poem in our own cadence. And that would be like a major sticking point. Once a day, rewriting the stupid poem, treating it like high school notes out of a book. And it was like, oh, okay, it's in there forever somewhere.
No, yeah, because sometimes you write a poem, but then you, when you're actually saying it, the words will flow out in a different way. And it's like, well, if this is easier for me to say, if it flows out like this, then the poem changes.
Yeah.
And I really love that, like, the process of doing it a few times and you're like, this is how it's done now. And it changes a little bit every time until you find it.
Yeah, you have to like tease it out, right? So, and hearing it is so much different than reading it. I would probably never put out an audible version and the same version as a written read version. That would be like odd for me. Yeah. Dyslexic girl problems. So
even when I read poetry like alone in my room, I will say it out loud because the words hit differently.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Remember I was talking to Winter recently and she was kind of talking about that because she's putting out her first track book and it's like putting it down on the paper has been so different, and it's like
Winter and their son are so fucking cool. Like the performance, like household performance quality. Epic. 2 poets, 1 house, all ages. Love. That's so dope. Yep, mom vibes.
Yep.
Yeah, Little Winter's really, really especially talented from his age, so obviously he gets it from his mama.
Yeah. And brave. Vulnerable to share on stages to adults. I'm like,
oh my god, his Black Boy Joy.
Yeah.
It killed me. It was so good.
So I was really sad I missed their SPC performance, but I was like, it was really cool. When she dropped in, I got to see him at Luna's. I was like, that's dope.
Those Luna's nights were the best, and nothing like it.
y'all are gonna find that energy. I'm telling you, you're in a renaissance. I've seen things change. Every 5 years there's an echo, but every 15 there's like an earthquake that happens, and y'all are in that earthquake moment.
I don't know. Maybe we're shaking.
Yeah,
Maybe we're doing the shaking.
This is like a very elevated version of Poetry 2024, guys. Like, just saying.
So I asked you about the poetry booth in Sacramento, but is there anything you guys would want people to know about living in Sacramento?
It doesn't suck. I felt like growing up, everyone was like wanting to leave, and they're like, Sacramento sucks, it's boring. And I'm like, it doesn't. Like, you have to go out there, you have to find it. And I'm really thankful that, like, Maddie J. Edmonds on Instagram, she's out there making fools of all of us, because she's, like, barely lived here the last few years, and now she's showing us everything.
The Sacramento influencer extraordinaire.
Oh,
like,
okay.
What are we
all
doing?
of the Sacramento influencers, every week I'm like, got a new restaurant
No,
to try.
I gotta try that snack.
No, yeah. The Tasted Duo. I don't even follow them, but they're on my feed all the time.
Oh my god.
It doesn't suck out here. It's actually pretty cool. So,
yeah, for like, I've lived here since 2002, and I've constantly heard local artists, people that had like came up, grew up here. I'm not local. I was not born here. I claim Sacramento now, but like, you know, Sacramento claims me. You know, the always tone of things was there's nothing to do here, or like Sac hates hip hop, Sacramento's not good with art, you know what I mean? And I lived through like Sacramento actually fucking hating hip hop and like closing down all the hip hop shows, going through like the local clubs and things like that, and pushing more punk culture and other things. Like, I've seen the ebb and flow of that, but there's always been something to do. Like, and if you were into it, or you fuck with underground shit, there's always been a hip hop show for you to show up to. Like, all of the old heads are still so active, and by old heads I mean people over 40 like me out here. Like, we are running programs in schools, like for hip hop and poetry and like community based things. And if you got kids in elementary schools, like, we're affecting change in your schools right now and talking to kids like differently, but we're the same people putting on shows back in the day, and now there's new folks still putting on shows, still accessible. Check your Outward magazines and your Sacramento 365, and God forbid your fucking News and Review, and all of these online spaces, not their print publications, for things to do. And as artists, you could register. Did you know that you can put your email in to Sac News and Review and create an account, and every time you have shows, you can post where your shit is? It is amazing. And then the News and Review will be like, Riah's here tonight. And sometimes they'll do like big banners and other shit just because like they're trying to be inclusive of folks. And,
I'm gonna remember that for sure.
And the most random fucking people that don't belong at your shit will just be like, oh, I came out to do some cultural shit and drink wine. And you're like, oh. And it's odd, okay? I'm letting you know. It's odd. But sign up. Get on, like, the entire schedule that's out in that lobby out there should be on the News and Review and should have access to, like, community. If it's free, you can jump on PBS, NBC, ABC, CBS, and put on their free community calendar. Because, you know, like, once a day they're required to flash that screen on for free, and someone's feeling themselves and will take a picture and come. QR codes are popular again. Use them. Ugh. You know what I mean? Like, but register as artists so
we
people have access.
We got some notes to take from you for sure. We got some notes to take from you.
Asses and seats are important, right? Like, the attrition of your shows, it's what's going to drive you getting sponsorship and other things and community support.
This is going to be our first Estrellas y Sueños show, but it's not going to be our last one for sure.
I like that.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe y'all could brainstorm and get, like, 10 organizations or groups that you think would support your content to reach out to them and be your advocates. And they'll share your content out for you, and they'll be, like, your allies through this project so you can do another one. Offer them some airtime.
Shaken.
They will do it. Be like, oh, want to come on for 10 minutes and talk about your shit? Send me a thing. And they'll be like, yes. And here's $100.
Okay.
Let me know if you need a sponsorship package, guys.
For sure.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
We will.
So, TED Talk over. Just saying.
So, is there anything you would want people to know about going to open mics?
I said it already. Stop being fucking weird to women.
Fair.
Yeah.
Just go up and read. It's a little scary at first. And I do think sitting and watching and being an observer, like a lot of people when they go to their first open mic, they just observe. And I think be nice to the observers. Just let them do their thing. Don't be too mean to them. But after you go once or twice as an observer, I think you'll realize that if you just go up, you say it, it's not so bad. It's not so bad.
What she said. Yep. Be gentle with yourself. Try things. Be gentle with the room. Be nice. Just introduce yourself. You know.
I guarantee at least one line will stick with someone and resonate with someone.
So, is there any place people can find you at, or anything events you guys got going on coming up?
Oh, you say yours and I have to pull mine up.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can find me on Instagram, Riah, RIAH .in_the.sky. I'm not great at posting, but I'm there. You can say hi to me. And then we have our show. It's going to be held here at CSSB next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the 21st and 22nd at 7 p.m. You can find us on Eventbrite. The link is in both of our bios on Instagram. And can I say what I always say?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So we're putting our whole hearts into it. We're putting our entire pussies into this thing. We're working so hard. We're rehearsing constantly. Like, we're doing the damn thing. The show is going to be awesome.
That was so brilliant. I love it. Stay
Thank
cunty.
you.
We're doing this.
I keep telling Al, I'm like, put your whole pussy into it.
Yeah, like seriously, I commit.
Exactly, commit.
Oh my goodness. So I just want to shout out Graffiti for Good and Neverboard. October 12th and 13th, they're going to be at the Capitol Event Center showing their graffiti movie sticker art, the sticker movie and stuff. And there's like all the oldest, dopest like graffiti artists and hip hop heads are going to be in my event space for 2 days. So we're sponsoring that event. Come out, Capitol Event Center. Look at my feed, 916 Jenny. I'm going to be posting about it pretty frequently, but I'm completely geeked out about this event on some old school graph head chick shit. I'm like, ooh, they're going to destroy my space. They're probably going to put stickers everywhere. It's a nice space. I'm fucked, but I'm really excited they're coming. Like, I'm so geeked. I'm like, just do it. It's fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Shout out Graffiti for Good and Neverboard. Yeah.
It's like about 7 minutes. I was wondering if you guys would be down to read one more poem.
Oh.
Go for it.
Oh my god. No, I don't know.
Let's see what we got.
Let me see.
I don't feel like a sex poem is necessarily appropriate after I already killed the guy. Let's see here. I got something memorized. Putting him on blast. At last I have a chance to speak my mind. In conclusion, I find the illusions of his love disgusting, untrusting, and utterly physically rusting. I am over my limit. Done with being jealous of his non-commitment. And now, thanks to the First Amendment, I can say, motherfucker, you played me. I'm going to put you on blast. You look like a busted ass without a stance. And no longer will you control me, console me, and think you own me. Because like a virus, he spreads infection. That's STIs or STDs if you're old, y'all. Pain and fear. I let him fuck me over for years, but now I'm grown like a rose from its bud. Y'all, it should not be hurt to be loved. That's it.
All right. I think this one's a favorite of our friends. It's called August. I suck in my teeth and breathe deeply in and out. As the doctor massages against the tender spot where my neck meets my right shoulder. This helps prevent scar tissue. I got hit by a bus, and the only time I'm mad about it is when he puts the massager against that one fucking spot. Who can I file a claim with for the scars already inside me? It's August, and I'm walking around with a scrape on my leg that looks like road rash and a wrist not as bruised as my ego. I wasn't drunk, I swear, when asked how I fell. Muttered, "This is why you don't chase white girls," under my breath. I'm filing a complaint with Mother Nature to just fucking stop her seasonal roll for one goddamn minute. I refuse to end the summer banged up with more scars scraping themselves on my body and soul by the day. But the new moon in Leo means a lit orange candle to journal all my deepest desires. I draw 3 cards, past, present, and future, and the future foretells abundance. So tell August to watch their fucking back, because their ass is mine.
Okay, yes.
Another great one. And I don't think I've ever heard that one before from you, Jenny. That was awesome.
It's part of the sex poem.
Oh, okay.
After the sex. It's fine. Thank you. That was so dope, though.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm here for it.
The way you looked at the camera when I said
I was like, anyways.
Yeah, all right, everyone. Thank you so much, Riah. Thank you so much, Jenny. It's so great to see both of you guys, and especially in this one room. You guys have such a great personality, and I knew you guys were
Yay, new friends.
We pre-gamed our friendship before this, so don't even worry. It's fine. Thank you. Like, I'm really proud of you. Like, and everything y'all are doing in my absence. Run, be free. Y'all are killing this. Like, I'm just, thank you. Like, for including me as, like, some old lady shit.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, got to give respect to the people who got us here and people who are keeping us going. Like,
Our shoulders are tired.
all right, GT4, thank you so much for rocking with us today. Just want to give it out, shout out to Grody, who always helps us out weekend, every month in, month out. Shout out to CSSB. And if you can, come out to me and Riah's show next Saturday and Sunday. And GTFO is having our inaugural journal release October 25th here at City Sounds. It's a costume party. Might do a contest, give out some prizes. You never know.
Did you hear I have all these fucking costumes?
Yeah.